Chris Byrd, former two-time heavyweight champion.
He is the pride of Clinton, Michigan, the heavyweight no one wants to face, Chris Byrd.
Hi, I'm Chris Byrd from the Bird's Eye View. Today we got the special treat, Hall of Famer, 20-time champion, and a good friend of mine. We go way back like Cadillac seats. That's what Steve Harvey said. Shane Mosley, Sugar Shane Mosley.
Right.
What's cracking?
What's going on, man?
What's up?
I ain't seen you in a while. What's up, man?
My man, I mean, when I think about you and boxing, I think about the old days of like junior camp, 15. I think I was 15, you were 14, going on 15 because I was going on 16. Like junior camp with a bunch of us at Northern Michigan. And then amateur stuff. Marquette, Michigan, way back. I mean, way back. So for the fans, how did you started boxing? What got you into it?
Well, I mean, I started boxing at the age of 8 years old, and it was kind of like my mother's doing. My mother kind of said, you know what, your son told my father, your son has so much energy, you need to take him to the gym with you so he can train, press him in his gym so he can go to sleep. So my father started taking me to the boxing gym with him because he was training, doing a little training himself, sparring with Mike Weaver and a few of the other guys there, staying in shape and stuff like that. So I came down there and I started hitting the speed bag and the bag and stuff like that. And I was a natural. I loved it. It was a one-on-one sport, a one-on-one competition where you had to, there was no team. It was just you. And I figured at that age that nobody could beat me one-on-one.
Oh, yeah. So we know that.
Back then, I was like, nobody beat me one-on-one. So I'm going to, this is going to be my sport. I think I was 10 years old. I told my father, I'm going to be world champion. Because nobody can beat me.
I bet. Look, hey, for y'all that don't know Shane Mosley outside the ring, he's that kind of guy. High energy, nobody gonna beat you one-on-one. That's how he always been. Basketball, we play a touch football, anything. He gotta win. But when you were younger, you fought Oscar De La Hoya a couple of times, like at juniors, right?
I fought him once. We fought like when we were like 12, 13 years old.
Oh yeah? Who won?
Back then, like I said, I was a maniac back then, and
you still is.
I still am a maniac. I'm still a maniac. But back then, like I said, I had to win. And Oscar's trainer was actually following my father around, saying, why don't your fight? Why don't you let Shane or let Oscar fight? Shane. Your fight. My father was like, My father's kind of we'll get the next time. Putting Oscar off. Or his trainer. We'll fight him next time. And then finally, the trainer kept coming to my father, and then my father's all right, come on, let's do it. I think we did. I think we fought in Pasadena.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's what the people tell me. It was Pasadena where we fought.
Oh, okay. You thinking back.
Yeah.
We fought somewhere.
So, I remember just throwing a lot of punches,
and
kind of overwhelming him, and Oscar back then, he wasn't Oscar until he turned like 15 years old. Then he became Oscar. Then he became Oscar. Back then he wasn't Oscar then.
Well, what about your journey as an amateur, as far as like the amateur years where we used to be at Olympic Training Center trying to reach the Olympics, but traveling and boxing? I mean, what's that experience like?
That was a great experience. I think all the amateurs, all the young guys need to get that experience, get the amateur experience, traveling around the world, seeing different things, meeting different people, being with different fighters, seeing different styles. That was just a great experience to be on the 92 Olympics, to be on our team. Our group of people, we had a great group.
92 crew, 92 crew.
My crew, even in my weight division, weight division alone, it was the hardest weight division. But all of the people in my weight division became world champions.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. I think Winky was in there.
Oh yeah,
Vernon
Steve Johnson.
Everybody. It was world champion. Who else? There's a couple others. Robert Frazier, I think he was in that division too.
Oh yeah, he was here for a second.
And he became world champion. So I mean, my division was pretty tough, but it was a great time. Though. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was, because like we went on trips together, a lot. We go to training camp, we do stuff, sneaking out and all that stuff. It was fun, but all of our goals was the Olympics. And when you made to the in the trials, who you lose to in the trials?
Vernon Forrest.
Vernon Forrest.
Vernon Forrest. So he was a great fighter, great jab, great power, great great height. He was a great fighter.
Yeah, so like was dreams dad for most of my life.
Yeah, I mean it was a little down, but I swore to myself, right after I lost, I said, listen, I'm gonna win this world title because this is what I live to do. This is what I want to do. This world title is what I want, and I'm gonna be great. A lot of times, and I tell it to my son, a lot of times as an amateur, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
But a lot of and certain fights, a lot of times you fight the person and you fight yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes in some of those fights, as amateur, I would fight myself and fight the opponent. But then I learned how to just fight the opponent. And then I became better.
Yeah, because I know, like, okay, after the Olympics, you turn pro. I live in Michigan. You live in sunny California, Southern California, which is nice. But all I could do is hear about. I mean, it wasn't. I used to get like Flash magazine, it was a boxing magazine, and Shane won again. Shane won again. Shane doing his thing. So then when you finally hit like, you fought USA Tuesday Night Fights.
Yeah. Prime ticket.
Yeah. And I got to watch that. And I'm like, oh man, Shane not only myself, my brother Patrick, my mother, father. Shane fighting. We all get around TV, and then you hit HBO and you fight for the title.
Yeah.
And that's where, that's like a proud moment. You fought Philip Holiday. That's like a proud moment. I think for every amateur came from the 92 crew that knew you was like, oh man, my boy, he's doing his thing. And that's when you like hit major scene.
Yeah.
And they talked about you.
Yeah. I mean, back then, that was a great fight. Philip Holiday. Win my first world title was like the best thing because that's what I've always dreamed to do is win the world title. I wanted to go to the Olympics, but I also dreamed. My biggest dream was win the world title. Seeing Sugar Ray Leonard. I started in 1980, 1979, 1980. Sugar Ray Leonard at the time was the big guy.
Yeah.
So seeing him as champion, me get up there and win the world title, it was just a great thing.
I mean that's crazy. You won the title, and I think if I remember. The performance, they waiting for I'm going with this. Waiting for a certain performance, and they like thank the Sugar Shane Mosley, like the same Sugar Shane Mosley we thought we were gonna expect with the speed
or the power,
and the power. But why?
Well, I think I said a little bit after the fight, but. What happened to me is, in sparring stuff like that, I had a guy who was in training camp. His name was Daniel Liner. We started experimenting with the creatine.
Yeah.
And I took too much of it right before the fight. So what happened was, not until 2 hours before I got into the ring is when I became solid.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so I was 135 at the weigh-in yesterday. I went to the ring at 137. So usually, when I fight, I go weigh in 135. I go to the ring at 47. That was my real weight. And then when I was getting ready, I was going out there. I said to her, dang, I'm not gonna be able to knock him out. That was about that. I'm not gonna be able to knock him out. So I said, all right, I'm gonna have to bounce around and box him. And use my skills, use my boxing skills, because I have to win this world title regardless of what happens. I have to win. I don't care what happens here. I'm going to win this world title. But as I'm going to the ring, you look at the weight, you look at the scales, see how much they weigh when they're going in the ring. So I know I weigh 137. They weighed me. So I looked at Philip Holiday. He was 147. I was like, oh,
that's your weight.
I said, he's 10 pounds heavier than me. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. I got to win this title. I don't care. So I went out there. I did more boxing than punching, what they was expecting.
Yeah.
And that's what made me a little upset. But, hey, I mean, you have to be able to do both. You have to be able to box and you have to be able to punch. So they see my punching ability, but they never see my boxing ability. And they didn't know I can go 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Because I was knocking everybody out like in 4
Yeah.
and 5, and I had all knockouts. So
Yeah.
it's like, can he go the distance? I answered that question.
Yeah.
I could go the distance, and I wasn't even as strong as I was supposed to be.
And Philip Holiday was a guy that threw a lot of punches and was a pressure guy that throw, in great shape, and you outboxed him, win the world title. And then you dominated at 35. I mean, killing it.
And then after that, to show them, because I had
A little something.
I had a little talk with Lou DiBella right after the fight, and I remember Lou was like, because HBO, and it was like kind of down the fight. Oh, it was a terrible fight. Nah, and it was just down on me. Lou DiBella back then was the vice president of HBO. So I went up to Lou. I said, "Well, Lou, if I'm not the best fighter."